Imagine this, you're a buyer and you walk into a home with brand new carpet, and yet it's the wrong color for your style. Or you walk into a house and it's got a perfectly remodeled kitchen, but you still need to do some upgrades. Now, this is something that a lot of buyers face when sellers remodel the wrong things to get their house on the market. So in today's video, we're actually going to share with you what you should put your money into and what not to fix.
We're Rod and Melody, your guides to living in Salt Lake City and beyond. With over 30 years in Utah real estate, we're here to help you navigate this beautiful state with confidence. We make videos about living in Salt Lake, exploring the suburbs, and what life in Utah is really like. We've helped over 1,400 families make their move in, out, and around Utah. And whether you're headed to St. George, South Jordan, or Smithfield, we've got you covered.
Don't do a full kitchen remodel. A full kitchen remodel basically is not going to pay you back your full investment. It is one of the lowest return on investment projects for a seller. Instead, let's go ahead and focus on some of those small, very cost-effective things that you can do to your kitchen. Number one, obviously, it's some elbow grease. Clean it up. Make sure that you are packing away some of those pantry items. And I would recommend that you might consider changing out the hardware on the cabinets. I always tell sellers, if they have wood cabinetry, to go ahead and get some furniture polish and clean them up and make them really shine. Now, if they're white like this kitchen that I'm in today, obviously you're gonna wanna wash them with hot water and soap and make sure that they're very clean and sparkly. That goes a lot farther than a full kitchen remodel. Okay, the next thing that we're gonna say don't do is replace all of the flooring in your house before you get it ready to sell. If it's in good condition, go ahead and get the carpets cleaned, clean up the flooring, and go with that. That is the most cost-effective thing that you can do. Now, obviously, if it's in horrible shape and it's ripped and tore by animals or it smells bad because of animals, we'll recommend getting it cleaned if you can get the smell out. If you can't, you're gonna probably need to replace it with something very neutral. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and see if you can get it clean and spruced up that way. Oh, by the way, when we're talking about cleaning the carpet, we're talking about professional cleaning, not just running down to Home Depot and renting a carpet cleaner and doing it yourself, but actually hiring somebody who can come in and refresh those carpets and the flooring. That's going to go a lot further than replacing the carpet in many instances. The next item on our list is don't repaint the entire house. It's very expensive to do that. And unless you've got blue, pink, and purple walls, which we are going to recommend that you repaint in a neutral color, you may not have to repaint the rest of the entire house to get it ready to sell. Again, a deep professional cleaning is going to make the walls sparkle and shine in most cases. But if you have patches of paint because you've tried to paint over nail holes in the past while you've lived there or whatever, you may need to paint certain rooms in order to compensate for the splashy paint. Okay, so just really look at your walls and make sure they're in neutral color schemes and that they don't have all of that patchy paint, because that is a buyer turnoff, but you don't have to paint the whole thing. Now, if you want a good painting contractor, we have several of them listed on our vendor list. We will put our vendor list link in the description below so that you're welcome to, give a couple of our painters a call and see what they recommend as well. Number 4 on our list is going to be a little bit surprising, but we're going to recommend don't finish the basement in order to get your home ready to sell. Now, if you're going to finish the basement when you first move in or in the middle of the time of your ownership, that is great because you're going to get a lot of use out of the basement refinished. But in order to get it ready to sell, we are not recommending that you finish the basement, especially in today's high cost of remodeling and construction. So what we're going to recommend instead is that you allow the buyers to visualize the space that you have available and be able to see potential in that space for the way that they want to use it. The next thing that we are going to recommend that you don't replace is going to be surprising again. It's the HVAC, the roof, windows, things like that. Those are very expensive items that do not bring dollar for dollar return. They are appealing to a buyer, but they're not going to give you a dollar for dollar return on that investment. Instead, we're going to recommend that if it's broken, you fix it. Obviously, you make sure that everything is in working order because they're going to call for that on an inspection. But what we do recommend instead is waiting for the buyer to ask for that concession, especially a roof concession if they want it. So the next thing on the don't list is don't over landscape. Simple landscaping is going to go a lot further, bang for your buck, which would be making sure that your grass is green, that the weeds are pulled, and that the landscaping is nicely trimmed. Don't go through and add gardens and ponds and things like that unless you do that at the very beginning of your home ownership journey with that particular property. Okay, instead of spending money on huge projects like remodeling and finishing basements and redoing your backyard, what we do recommend is that you clean. And I know that sounds super simple, but a little bit of elbow grease goes a long ways. And if you hire a professional cleaner, and that includes housekeeping and floors, that is going to be a huge bang for your buck. Now, the right housekeepers are going to know the difference between getting your home ready to sell, so they do a super deep clean, and just a weekly housekeeping jobs. Here is the bonus tip, and it's something that we do for all of our clients, is when you get ready to put your house on the market, at the very beginning of this decision, call us. We'll come over, we'll point out the things that we believe need to be done in order to sell for top dollar. We obviously are very conservative, so we are not going to recommend things that are going to break the bank or not bring a return. And if you're not ready to have us come over, of course we would be honored to jump on a Zoom call and do a consultation with you that way. These are the updates that we recommend, is to just make your house clean and shine, and that's going to go a long ways for your photo shoot. We've helped over 1,400 families move in, out, and around Utah. So whether you're moving to St. George, South Jordan, or Smithfield, we've got you covered. Check the description below for our free seller's prep checklist and that Zoom call and our vendor checklist. And watch this video next.